Hello, everyone. I wanted to record a video for, I guess, some of the younger generations younger than I am. I'm 36. Uh, and basically, what I wanted to say is that you don't have to agree with, approve of, or appreciate what someone is saying, or what a movie is saying, or a song is saying, in order to absorb it. It's okay to watch a movie where you go, by the end of it, you're like, man, some of that was really fucked up. I don't appreciate that. I'm not gonna, watch it again, or I'm not gonna, I don't deal with that sort of content. And that's perfectly fine. And you also don't have to do anything you don't want to. And me saying stuff on a YouTube video is not probably going to change anything. But the past is fucked up. The future is fucked up too, but perhaps more progressively. And in the 20s, they were shittier than they were in the 30s. And they were shittier in the 30s than they were in the 40s. And they were progress takes time. And so if you look behind now, you're going to find stuff that is politically incorrect, that doesn't fit with how you think the world should be. Everyone's entitled to have an opinion about that. I'm not saying you shouldn't have an opinion like that. But what I find is that there are a lot of things that I really love and appreciate that I would lose if I were to simply reject everything that didn't perfectly align with what I believe. And in fact, I haven't been to school in today's day and age, which anyway, but when I was in school, we were taught basically to read shit. Just read the book. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to say those words out loud. If we're talking about Huck Finn, where they're throwing around, the N-word all the time, you don't have to like The Crucible. You don't have to appreciate the ending. You don't have to think that the messages within it are good. Just read the damn book, right? And part of the point is that you have to challenge yourself in order to grow. You can't just go, this is what I think, this is how it is, and that's it. I'm never changing, and everyone else is wrong. Go fuck yourself if that's what you're going to say. You're supposed to take in content that maybe doesn't rub you the right way. You're a person. You're supposed to grow. You're not supposed to sit comfortably. And, take George Carlin, for instance. It's my opinion that he's the greatest comedian to ever grace the planet. As you would say, he's the GOAT. Bleh! Anyway, that's what I think every time someone says GOAT. I know what it means. It's also, the other definition has reigned for thousands of years, so it's going to take a while for it to switch over. But, some of the stuff he says is, not very nice sometimes. And I don't mean like he's aggressive with the way that he speaks, but he calls people cocksuckers, right? And at the time, I don't think that he was saying gay people are bad or that people who suck dicks are bad. He was just using a term, fuckface. I'm not saying that fucking is wrong. If I call you an asshole, I'm not saying that assholes are bad. Maybe they have certain characteristics we don't like, but there's other characteristics about them that we do like. So to use a pejorative, I think is the term, is simply, to expletive someone is to expletive them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. Now, you are perfectly welcome and entitled, if you wish, to go, I don't appreciate that. He's besmirching gay people. Fuck him. He's homophobic. He's not. But you're allowed to believe that. You're allowed to set that mantle on him. It's your life, your choice, whatever. And like Dave Chappelle, I do not fucking agree with a lot of the stuff that Dave Chappelle says. But he's a funny comedian. I'm not going to go spend money. I'm not going to support him in that way. I'm not going to watch his YouTube videos on repeat or anything. But I do understand it. I'm capable of taking in a perspective that I don't agree with, understanding it, and then leaving, the parts I don't want to the side. It doesn't have to. I feel like a lot of people believe that if you listen to what someone's saying, you've lost, right? That's not losing. Losing is failing to understand where they're coming from or failing to get your point across. It's not necessarily about convincing the other person or being convinced. It's about listening, right? And anytime I try to make a comment on Facebook about anything with a perspective that isn't exactly in line with all the other comments, someone I'll get into a tiff with somebody or something if I'm in the mood for a tiff that day, and they'll just at a certain point stop listening. And it's, fine, do that if you wish. Stop listening. I'm not in charge. But what's the point of the interaction if you're going to not listen? Why are we doing it? And it sort of seems like a bait and switch where you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to listen. Just kidding. Fuck you. And so to me, the test of mental fortitude or psychological fortitude is to take in an experience that you don't like and process it and come out better as a result, come out improved and go, I now have a more clearly defined definition or set of definitions for things that I think are bad. You should read Night by Elie Wiesel. I really hope I said his name right. I should know how to say it properly by now. Maybe it's Wiesel. Anyway, forgive me for not doing my research before bringing that up. But read the book, dude. It's horrifying. They hang a child. The Nazis hanged children. That's not fun to read. It's not fun to know about. It's horrifying. But you know what's worse? Just going away from it because it doesn't feel good. You should know this shit. There are certain things in the world that are bad. You've probably noticed that. Take them in. Process them. Learn from them. Grow. Don't just go, uncomfortable, and then walk away. To me, that is weakness. And maybe if someone else does it, it's not weakness. I'm not trying to say how other people are, but for me, that would be weakness if I did that. If I just was like, I don't think so. It's a little difficult for me to take this in, so I'm just not going to even bother. And that's not to say you should subject yourself to a bunch of horrible shit, but you're going to come into contact with things you don't like. And just putting on your blinders and sticking your head in the sand and other metaphors that are similar, you're missing out and you're not doing your part. If we're ever going to fix this mess, we have to be on our game. We have to be on point. We can't just be like laying on the ground, a little bit high and maybe hungry, and without health care and all this shit. We have to fucking fight for all of this. We have to turn all of this around, and it requires that you subject yourself sometimes or allow yourself to be subjected to things that you don't like, things that you don't agree with, things that are difficult. And because the only way through those things is to understand them. You can't just murder people. I mean, you can, but you can't, that doesn't fix it. The ideas come back. So what you have to do is like a virus, you have to inoculate yourself against the idea. And the only way to do that is by exposure to the idea. Read Fahrenheit 451. Read 1984. Read The Handmaid's Tale. A Handmaid's Tale and The Scarlet Letter and absorb some shit. This has gotten less conversational and more ranty, so I think I'm going to end it here pretty soon. But again, you can be however you want. You can do whatever you want. Some random white dude on the internet is not a good reason for you to change your opinion unless you think that they were correct, unless you think about what they said and go, wow, this person is right. And it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. Nothing matters. We're all going to die. But yeah, I think that we're not here to be comfortable all the time. It's okay to be comfortable in your home and maybe at your job and all this other stuff, but to insist that we never encounter anything that we dislike or that makes us uncomfortable is not how anything works. Science doesn't work that way. Anyway, so I hope this has helped some people go forth and absorb reality. But yeah, I just want people to know that you don't have to like something in order to listen to it. You can decide it's horrible and move on. Not listening to it, you're not doing the work. You do not have an argument against it. I didn't like it is not an argument. Okay, I'm going to go now. Bye.